This is WSLS 10 at 11.
Now at 11, an officer-involved shooting in Pittsylvania County tonight. We'll have a live report from the scene.
I just want this to stop. I want our kids to be safe. I want to be able to help them when it comes to my daughter, keep my daughter safe.
Plus, concerns grow after recent threats at Roanoke County schools, what parents want the school system to do differently. And a 5-state primary showdown as Donald Trump takes wins in every state. Our political analyst will break down what this means moving forward to the convention. But first tonight, we are following breaking news, as I said, out of Pittsylvania County tonight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for WSLS 10 at 11. Police are on the scene of an officer-involved shooting near Keeling Drive and Malmison Road, which is northeast of Danville. And that's where our very own Coulter Anstedt joins us live tonight. So, Coulter, I know it's early on, but what are deputies telling us so far?
Well, John, good evening. Like you said, I am at the intersection of Keeling Drive and Malmason Road here in Pittsylvania County. I'm going to go ahead and step out of the way now so you can kind of get a better idea as to what's going on. You can see 2 Pittsylvania County Sheriff deputies patrol cars there blocking traffic. They've been there for at least an hour now, very limiting who goes up and down the road. We are told that the incident, which happened earlier this evening, happened about a mile further down Keeling Drive. Of course, media has not been allowed to go down there right now. We are told that an officer responded to some type of incident, again, about a mile further down on Keeling Road from where I'm at right now. And at some point during that incident, the officer was shot. The officer has been taken to Danville Regional Medical Center. It's not clear exactly how seriously he was injured or what exactly, other than the shooting, what type of injuries he may have sustained. Of course, we will continue to follow this and bring you any information we get. But for now, live in Pittsylvania County, Coulter Anstedt, WSLS 10.
All right, thank you, Coulter. And folks at home, we'll continue to follow this story throughout this newscast and throughout the evening. When we're not on the air, make sure to head over to WSLS.com for the latest updates. And of course, we'll have the very latest for you tomorrow morning on Virginia Today, starting at 5 a.m. And we're also following breaking news tonight out of Allegheny County. The sheriff there telling us that 3 suspects have been arrested following a robbery at the Snack Shack on Route 18. The sheriff says 2 men and a woman came into the store and robbed the cashier at gunpoint. No one was hurt. The sheriff says more information will be released tomorrow. Parents at William Byrd High School expressed concerns and frustrations at a community meeting tonight following several threats of violence. The school has already seen both a shooting and a bomb threat this month alone. And WSLS 10's Rob Manch spoke with one parent who is frustrated about where police are drawing the line between a family's need to know and safety.
Why aren't you talking to the parents?
Amanda Purdy says when a bomb threat is called in, she should be able to find out if her daughter is safe.
The police could actually be doing more than just standing there going, no, we'll arrest you if you come up here, and keeping people off the lot.
But that's exactly the scene Purdy says her mother faced when trying to pick up Purdy's daughter the day of the bomb threat.
They stopped her at right as she was turning off 24 and said, no, you can't come on the property. And she said, my granddaughter's up there. I want to go get my granddaughter. And they said, no, if you come on the property, we're going to arrest you.
Roanoke County Police Chief Howard Hall says there's a good reason his officers don't allow parents in a crisis.
If that threat is real, if someone is there that's intending to do harm, when additional people come into that area, that's additional potential victims, creates additional dangers, creates additional strain on the school system staff, on first responders, in terms of trying to deal with that.
But school officials admit they are working on better ways to deal with what has become a consistent problem this year in county schools.
There's no manual to go by. We're doing the best we can, again, with #1 priority being safety of the children.
Keep us apprised of the policy, the procedures, so that we know, so that we can talk to our students.
Purdy says if the schools can learn anything from the past month, it's that when it comes to the safety of students, parents can't be left out of the discussion.
They need to listen to us more. They need to tell us more, understand ongoing investigations, police matters and everything. But we need to feel safe sending our kids.
In Roanoke County, Rob Manch, WSLS 10.
Also new at 11 o'clock tonight, the Virginia Department of Education concludes there's no evidence of neglect against special needs students in Franklin County. State education leaders launched their investigation at the end of October of last year after several parents claimed that their students were being neglected. The school board and the superintendent will analyze the Department of Education's report in more detail. Meanwhile, community members came together tonight to remember a Hidden Valley student who was shot and killed by Roanoke County Police. It's now been exactly 2 months since the death of 18-year-old Kiante Spencer. Police say Spencer was killed when he refused to drop what was later found out to be a BB gun. Police have not released the officers' names or video of the shooting, and Roanoke County Police say they have now finished their investigation as of today. The case is in the hands of the Commonwealth's attorney. Organizers of tonight's event are calling for, however, an independent review.
What I'm hoping and praying is the police would reevaluate themselves, that the law enforcement officers would reevaluate themselves and recognize and realize that every young black male that they confront on the street is not a criminal.
The Roanoke NAACP says it's collecting information about Kiante's death and plans to submit it to the Justice Department. And people are speaking out tonight following Danville's most recent shootings. Police say a newspaper delivery man was shot through his car early this morning, and 7 hours earlier, another person was shot on College Park Drive. One person that we spoke with said it's scary and sad that his longtime neighborhood is becoming violent. Another person we spoke to said the shooting makes her feel unsafe about raising her grandchild there.
It's not even safe to go to the store or sit on your porch. And I got a little grandson. I don't even want to raise him up over here.
So far, no arrests have been made. And Franklin County deputies make a DUI arrest thanks to one woman's anonymous call for help.
Franklin County 911, where's your emergency?
Last Wednesday, a caller alerted the sheriff's office to a dangerous driver swerving all over the road along 220 in Rocky Mount. Deputies found the driver and they did a series of field sobriety tests. They say the driver had a blood alcohol level 4 times the legal limit.
The 911 caller stated that there was a vehicle driving erratically. They were afraid that they were either going to hurt someone or hurt themselves. Unfortunately, we had Sergeant Wilmer in a position that he could get close to the vehicle and get the vehicle stopped.
And the department calls that 911 call a perfect example of community policing. They want others to call in when they see something suspicious. The driver will appear in court next month. And a 3-year-old boy is recovering after being reunited with his family. Mason Ryan was found about 3 a.m. this morning. He was missing for nearly 9 hours. Mason's mother says the boy was going to his room, but then decided to walk out of the house, trying to follow his dad, who was driving away in his car. Several hundred people searched for the boy until his family says Banjo, their dog, saved Mason because Banjo barked at rescuers and led searchers to the boy.
I climbed over a fence and went down to where he was, and when I seen him, I tried to talk to him, but then once he gave me that little smile, I just busted down crying and just collapsed. I was just so relieved.
The Henry County Sheriff's Office says it's investigating the incident to see if there was anything criminal that might warrant charges. We'll let you know. All right, victorious night for Donald Trump as he takes home wins in all 5 states tonight. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side, also a strong night for Hillary Clinton. Steve Handelsman has more on tonight's primary results.
Donald Trump ran the table. 5 primaries, 5 wins, another big delegate haul.
This was, to me, our biggest night because it shows such diversity.
Acting like he has the nomination.
You know, if you have a football team and you're winning, and then you get to the Super Bowl, you don't change your quarterback, right? So I'm not changing.
Ted Cruz crushed today, was in Indiana tonight, begging basketball-mad voters to block Trump's shot at the nomination next Tuesday.
There is nothing that Hoosiers cannot do.
Democrat Hillary Clinton had another great night, winning today's big states.
Let's go forward, let's win the nomination, and in July, let's return as a unified party. Thank you all so much.
Bernie Sanders won small Rhode Island and vowed not to quit.
Stand up fight back, and make this country the nation we know it can become.
But the Make America Great candidate is on a Republican roll after tonight's 5-state sweep. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Philadelphia.
And joining us now is WSLS 10 political analyst Dr. Ed Lynch. So, Ed, apparently Ted Cruz and John Kasich's alliance that they announced yesterday didn't have much impact tonight.
Well, no, it didn't, and it wasn't really designed to for tonight. That's going forward. I think that both the Cruz and the Kasich campaign basically conceded tonight, and it's important to keep in mind that Trump had a big night, and he has shown a remarkable ability to win big victories in states that Republicans have no chance of carrying in November. The only exception is Pennsylvania, but the other states tonight, solid blue, and it's worth noting that the Democratic candidates, for the first time almost in this primary season, got a lot more votes than the Republican candidates. That does not bode well for November for the Republicans.
Yeah, I believe you were adding up some numbers earlier. You said Hillary all by herself got more votes than the 3 Republicans combined.
Yes,
so
that
shows a lot
happened
more interest in the Democratic side.
Yes, and that happened in not every state, but in several of them, where the Democratic winner got more votes than all 3 of the Republicans. On the Republican side, that seems to indicate that the non-Trump traditional Republicans have lost interest, at least in those states, and that it will be up to Trump then to try to get them animated and get them excited between now and November.
Those are Democratic states, as you said, except for Pennsylvania anyway. Now, Trump still has the ability, because of tonight, to gain the delegates he needs before the convention to lock things up. It's not a done deal. The narrow path is what I keep hearing. But he's already calling himself the presumptive nominee. Is he kind of jumping the gun a little bit?
I think he is just a little bit, yeah. If you add up the delegates that have been won by Ted Cruz, by John Kasich, and by Marco Rubio, who's out of the race, it comes to about 850, and Trump has got something like 925. So he's in the lead. It's a fairly comfortable lead, but he's not there yet. He's still about 300 short of what he needs to get it on the first ballot, and if it goes to a second ballot, Trump's path is going to be very, very difficult.
Okay, we've only got about 10 seconds left, but it looks like on the Democratic side, Hillary's got it wrapped up. I mean,
it does look that way, barring something very much unforeseen, like more trouble with her emails or a health scare or something like that. That's what Bernie Sanders is hoping for. That's why he's still in it.
Right, he's just waiting for something to pop up.
That's right.
Maybe get it done. Ed Lynch, thank you very much.
All right, my pleasure.
Thanks. As always. Yeah. Elsewhere tonight, changes could be coming to a dangerous intersection in Blacksburg, but some people are wondering if that'll be enough. The Route 460 North Main Street intersection has seen about 50 accidents with injuries and 4 deaths in the last 7 years, and now the town is working with VDOT to eliminate the left turn option there. That'll cost $3.5 million all by itself, but drivers who use that area daily say that's a short-sighted solution to a bigger problem.
The current plan is very problematic because it will cause movements beyond the intersection now that are very, very dangerous.
The town would like to ultimately build an interchange there, but VDOT says that would cost more than $30 million, and that's why they say it'll be 15 to 20 years before they have that kind of money. And the Roanoke community remembers a Congressional Gold Medal recipient known for his love of aviation. Wesley Hillman became America's youngest flight instructor when he was 17 years old, instructing more pilots than anyone else here in Southwest Virginia's history. The World War II U.S. Navy veteran logged more than 30,000 flight hours. WSLS 10 happened to be there when Hillman accepted that Congressional Gold Medal for his service in February of 2015. Hillman is also honored in the Virginia Museum of Transportation's Aviation Wing, and his daughter tells us that her father's passion for flight began when he was just 11.
He started going out to the airport, never lost his love. He would ride his bike from Southeast out to the airport every day.
Hillman was 94 years old. There'll be a memorial service at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at First Baptist Church in Roanoke. And getting a second chance, the new initiative aimed at helping ex-offenders get back on their feet once they're released from jail.